Rhode Island. They were polarized and passionate, with no time to drag their feet. Inline skaters swelled the streets of College Hill. Jim Davidson and Eric Flame decipher the downhill competition.
Obvious from the beginning that College Hill in Providence, Rhode Island was Derek Downing's domain. Early in his qualifying run, he set the stage when he just powered out of the line. It was obvious from that point that the start was going to be the beginning of the downfall for the rest of the racers in our field today. Derek Downing initially found the line that carried him into the 90-degree turn. He learned from there, striding the entire time, trying to pick up as much speed as possible. He knew the line when he got down into the chicanes.
Test the height of technology at the depth.
Much like a downhill skier, he was in his tuck for most of it. Then he came with the crossover stride, trying to pick up as much speed as possible. Caught in our last speed trap at just under 43 miles. Derek got into the prelims. The rest of the field knew they had to try and find any advantage they could. Ivano Gagliardo, he tried to jump the gun, but look at Derek Downing. He just powered out with a start that Roger Rabbit would be proud of, and the rest of the field was playing catch-up from then on out. Derek Downing, by the end of the first 90, said, "See you later." In the quarterfinals, again, everybody had even a bigger advantage as Derek Downing was flagged for a false start, but he immediately started powering out right off the bat. Got out there, Jondon Trevita tried to give him a run for the money, but when Jondon set up to get some speed, Derek just blew by him, and again, he was in the lead when he got to the 90. After the 90, this would prove to be the closest race that Derek would have all day long as Jondon Trevita tried to stay with him. The master of the tuck, and he had already found his line with Jondon's race all over his backside. He came around the last turn and again just did the crossover and started striding and pumping the arms. Once he crossed the line here, this quarterfinal matchup set the stage for some excellent semifinal matchups yet to follow.
ACG by Nike.
For our semifinals of the inline downhill, it's the first time we've gotten skaters together to go downhill, and the speeds they're reaching are really impressive so far, Eric.
You know, these guys, when they first came out to the course, they were a little tentative. They weren't really sure if they were going to be able to make it down this hill. But with each run, they're gaining more speed and more confidence on this hill.
Well, Eddie Matzker's in this race. We're just waiting on the start right now. It's been very impressive so far. A lot of the skaters out here with the bigger bases, more wheels. Some guys only have 4 wheels. What's the difference and how's it hurting some of the skaters?
Well, the top skaters out here today are the racers. They're skating on a 5-wheel setup without any brakes. They want to go on fresh wheels. They're changing their wheels after every 2 to 3 runs. And the 4-wheel guys are more of the aggressive guys. It's kind of tough with only 4 wheels. You don't have as much traction on the corners and a long wheelbase that helps you carry your speed.
Well, I say if you're going to get a false start, you should do it with more force than that. But we had one, we restarted, and now they're going down Prospect Street again. They'll cross over right there. That's the first interchange they have to make over top of the bumps. Now they're setting up. You see the red monster right there.
Derek Downing has been flawless, picks perfect lines through the curves. He looks very strong. He's pulling away from the rest of the field here. Here we see Eddie Matzker in front of the skater with the helmet cam. Going through the final curve as the skaters cross over, go down to the finish.
And Derek Downing is way out in front, and he will remain undefeated. He's won every heat he's been in. Derek Downing will move on to the finals.
Jonathan Webster, a good skater, coming in second. It looks like he's going to make it to the finals as well.
Well, Derek Downing, he qualified #1. He ran the fastest time out here. He did a great job in every heat so far, and it just seems like he gets better and better.
He's such a smart skater, you know. He's got a great start. Here we see them going into the first curve. Nice and tight right on that corner. You see Eddie Matzker waving his arms. Had a little bit of trouble with that corner there.
They get so close there, too.
Well, our winner, Derek Downing, you are fastest qualifier. You have yet to lose a race. You must really like this format.
Nah, I think God's just on my side right now. But, yeah, it's a pretty nice course. I mean, it's dangerous, you know, but that's why they call it extreme games, though.
Would you do it again?
Well, I got one more time to go, so hopefully I'll be walking home, you know, hopefully sitting pretty. I don't know. We'll have to wait and find out.
Do you think this could become a real competitive series, this downhill racing?
I believe it can. I believe with all the PRs here and all the people watching, I believe that this could be a sport and it could boom. I mean, you know, I know I personally don't ever race downhills. This is my first time ever, so it's an experience for me, and it's fun, yet dangerous, because, I mean, I have a lot riding on my career, you know, in the inline skating, you know, but just give it a whirl, see what happens.
Totally cool. Thank you.
4 of the 5 fastest qualifiers are in this heat. I'm talking about Naylor, Smith, Trevina, Berger. They're all there, but they qualified running solo. This time we put them in a big pack, and that changes things around a lot.
This is going to be a great semifinal. This could almost be the final. You see John and Trevina, he was assessed a false start. He had to start a little bit behind the other skaters.
Trevina is immediately making up time as they stride out. Now everybody trying to pump. You'll see him slow down, catch a little air, but Trevina's coming on strong, has not stopped striding yet. Trevina's in second right now.
You can see him moving. Oh, there he goes on the outside. He moved into first place, and he hung on to that corner. What a move by John and Trevina.
A lot of speed, as you said, able to hang on to the corner. That's as fast as we saw anybody come into the 90 all day.
Chad Smith was braking going to that corner, and forget about braking. I'm taking this corner on at full speed.
Well, John and Trevina is out front. They are really pressing him hard from behind.
Whoa, and they're striding out there. Chad Smith came across in front of Wheeler.
Oh, Chad Smith and John and Trevina right at the line. Trevina just nosed him out. Chad Smith is pumped up. He did a great job at just flying up into the number 2 spot.
What a finish. We had 3 skaters there. John and Trevina looks like pulled it out, but Jimmy Wiederhold is a great skater. He's going to have to go to the second chance semifinal. Here we see John and Trevina had to start 5 feet in back of the other racers. What a great finish. He pumps coming out of the final turn and just holds on for victory.
They were stride for stride coming down to the line, and this is as close as it's been all throughout. A great job by the skaters.
Gosh, a great race for you. You came from last all the way to first. What do you think of this course?
Oh, it's an amazing course. It's fast. Really tight corners, and I was just going for all out, man. I mean, I felt like I jumped off the starting line, and I couldn't get up there, and then I kind of got blocked up and didn't really know what was going on, and so I just said, heck with it. I got to get to that corner, and I just sprinted by him right there. And then coming to that corner, I jumped by him again. I just went in the corner so I could make the corner, and then they just kind of followed me by.
Okay, here you are setting yourself up for the finish.
Yeah, going to the finish, I just sprinted down this thing, and I was right there. I knew I could make it all the way. I don't think anybody was going past me because we're going so fast. So I just hawked it for the finish for a win for Gio Robles.
John and the other skaters call you the rookie. I think you're really proving them wrong here.
Yeah, they call me the rookie because I guess I'm the youngest out there to be competing.
Congratulations, you're still alive. We'll see you in the finals.
Thanks.
Gathered here in College Hill in Providence, Rhode Island for the finals of the downhill inline competition. A lot said it wouldn't be done. Some fears had to be conquered, but here they are, 6 men left at the line.
We saw Dan Berger, John and Trevina, and Chad Smith were assessed a false start. They're standing back. Derek Downing and Jimmy Wiederhold. The start is very crucial.
Well, John and Trevina in the semis, he had a false start and had to start from back 2. He got a good look at the field and powered through to the opening turn. Maybe that'll help him here.
Derek Downing all the way through. He started out in front. John and Trevina is in 4th position right now. I don't think that's where he wants to be. Oh, he's moving up on the outside. There we see John and Trevina move into 3rd place.
And John and Trevina swings wide. They all go wide out by the hay bales. It was real tight on that turn. They are carrying a lot of speed. Obviously, this is the finals.
And here we see Jimmy Wiederhold stroking down the hill, and he got right on the back of Derek Downing, and he's very close.
Wiederhold and Downing coming down. Trevina trying to come on strong. Chad Smith is right there. Your top 4 coming at you.
And they're really letting it all hang out all the way through the finish. And Derek Downing, what a race.
Derek Downing with James Wiederhold right on his backside. John and Trevina and Chad Smith, there are your 4. Derek Downing, he was number 1 at the start. He came in here and he showed everybody that he's the best in the world at inline downhill.
Derek Downing just wasn't afraid. He got out in front every time. You can see a perfect line through the corner there. John and Trevina in third position all the way out to the hay bales. You can see the skaters in the back touching the hay bales.
And down the home stretch, it was whoever had the legs left to bring this baby home. Derek Downing was the man, and Christy Lee is with him now.
Well, you won it, Derek. You came from here. You were the fastest qualifier. You won every single race all the way. You made this look easy.
Oh, it was not easy, because I tell you, Jimmy, he dang gave me a run. I mean, you know, you think going down hills, you know, the heavier the person, the more advantage you have. On this course, it was not like that. He could hang the corners really well, and it was just a good race all the way down. But
yeah, he was sneaking right up there.
Injured, though. Just glad no one got injured. So it was great.
You have the world record in the 1,000 meters. You're a world team member. I'm sorry. I'm so excited. I'm excited for you. How does this compare?
Oh, this year's just been totally amazing. I mean, I thank Hyper so much for, you know, sponsoring me and giving me a chance to do it. You know, we've been to Las Vegas. We cleaned up in Las Vegas. Went to World Trials. We went to World Trials. I made world team this year, and I come here to the Extreme Games. Never did this in my whole life, and ended up winning this downhill race.
And you are the Inline Extreme Games champion, Derek Downing.
Thank you. Thank you. It was just great. I just can't believe it. I was just praying to God every race, you know, that I just stand up, because after that wipeout yesterday afternoon, I mean, it just totally, you know, put a fear in me.
Well, obviously you didn't show any fear, and congratulations once again. You're a great champion.
Thank you. Thank you.
Derek Downing is your first ever Extreme Games Inline Downhill champion, with James Wiederholt doing a very impressive showing as he put his hold on second place. John and Trevina and Chad Smith just never overcame their false starts as they finished 3 and 4. Now when the inline skating community looks up, they'll see Derek Downing on top holding the trophy.
First off the line tonight, inliners speeding down the steep, winding course on College Hill. It's the only competition like it in the world. You see, usually racers excel on the track. Here, they accelerate to 45 miles per hour. Bob Varsha, two-time Olympic silver medalist in speed skating, Eric Flame, and Christy Lee get us on course.
The Luge pilots are taking a break, and today's sun-drenched College Hill in Old Providence belongs to the speed kings of inline skating, and we do mean speed, touching 45 miles an hour and more, way faster than the luges were going, because of course their starts are much more explosive. We will skate in sets of 4 with 2 to advance to the next round until we reach our championship final, and we have some outstanding skaters. In our first set, there is the local favorite from nearby North Kingston, Rhode Island. That is Russell Durney. Starting next to him, a man who finished 6th in this race a year ago, but he crashed in the final, Dan Berger out of Oakland, California. From Bayshore, New York, this is Jason Sepulveda, who will be in lane 2. And over in lane 1, our #1 qualifier, Chad Smith from Cumming, Georgia.
Chad Smith skating for Team Hyper. You just saw him with the glasses. He wants to be first into the Big Red Monster. As you can see, he does get a great start.
Yeah. Chad Smith is an excellent starter. He's just powering away from these skaters. Look for him to set up this corner very wide to try and minimize the force that they feel pulling them out of the corners.
In the upper left, the fastest speed of the day is the long. Oh, and into the hay bales, big time. I didn't catch who that was.
That was Jason Sepulveda going down. I hope he's okay.
Now that leaves only 3 skaters, 2 to advance. Look at that speed, 45.7 miles an hour. Wheels turning at more than 15,000 RPM. That's the fastest speed we've seen all day. Chad Smith will advance, and he takes with him number 407, Russell Durney. That will get a big round of applause from this huge crowd. Now let's go back up to the Big Red Monster and find out what happened to Jason Sepulveda.
Chad Smith in the lead, but Jason Sepulveda in second place. His inside foot started to get away from him. He was recovering, but then his outside foot caught the hay bales, and he went down. Here you can just see his outside foot catching the hay bales, and he goes head-on into the bales.
And head-on into our camera. Now, the good news is Jason Sepulveda got up, and there he is talking to the medics while they work on what appears to be a cut. But he's otherwise all right, and that is good news. The latest in a long line of incidents at the turn they call the Red Monster. Just one feature of this course. Let's take a closer look at it. The downhillers use the same course as the street losers, from atop College Hill plunging down to the river. But there is a difference. Strap on your blades for a walk on the wild side. Out of the start, you have to make time. Passing is tougher the longer you wait. Through the red monster and head for the sweeper. Brake as little as you dare for the Clubhouse S's, then pump hard for the finish. You have more room to stop than the luge boys, because you're going a lot faster. Of course, with all that speed come the risks, and we've just seen graphic evidence of that. There is Jason Sepulveda walking away with the help of the medics. We'll update his condition for you as soon as we can. Now to our final set of 4, and this really could be the championship final. Say hello to Tony Muse, the world's fastest inline skater, holder of the 300-meter solo world record from Des Moines, Iowa. Next to him, his brother Dante, who won in the first round, and he did it from the penalty line after a false start. Speaking of penalty lines, there's Sergio Macargo, the big surprise of the competition thus far from Argentina. And next to him, a 2-time world champion, Derek Parra from Dover, Delaware.
There you go. No doubt we will have a fast heat. We did have a false start for Sergio. The Muse brothers, 374, 375 in lane 3 and 4. Dante a little bit faster on this downhill than Tony. Tony a little bit afraid of the speed here at College Hill.
Tony Muse wanting to slow it down. He is tentative entering the red monster curve.
Tony Muse crashed to this race a year ago. The split in the upper left, they are 0.3 of a second off the optimum time. And look at Dante Muse in black, pumping up along the other side.
Derek Parra jumping over Tony Muse's legs.
Dante leads Derek Parra. This is incredible, 43.6 miles an hour. Watch him stroke it down the hill, fighting for those 2 transfer spots.
Derek Parra, what an animal, jumping over Tony Muse's legs to qualify onto the next round. Wow.
You can see it in Derek Parra's face in every practice, in every round of competition. I'm going to get there first or crash.
Derek Parra showing the aggressiveness that it takes in this inline competition, jumping over Tony Muse.
Now let's show him down to the line using our Fletcher cam from overhead. Dante Muse in black, Derek Parra in white. First or second, doesn't matter. They're both moving on.
Dante Muse giving it everything he's got, trying to hold up Derek. Derek doesn't want to get second, even though he's going to qualify. He's a true fighter all the way to the finish.
The quarterfinals are now complete. Jason Sepulveda has a couple of stitches, but he's otherwise okay. Let's go now to the Newport Yachting Center to join Jack Edwards and Paul Higgins.
Up next, inline downhill racers. Faster than a speeding bullet, lightning strikes again.
The windmill stop at nothing.
Welcome back to College Hill. We are ready for the semifinals of men's downhill inline. There you see the qualifying positions of our survivors to the semifinals. And as you see, 1 through 8 minus the number 7 man. And therein lies the story. Number 18 is B.J. Steketee, who finished 3rd in his heat. But Jondin Trevina and Jonathan Webster were adjudged to have committed fouls in the race. After the race, Webster was flagged for unsportsmanlike conduct and disqualified. So Steketee won the heat, and he will be in the semifinals alongside Trevina, Muse, and Parra. Now here's the first half of our bracket. There's Scott Hyatt. 4 top 3 finishes at the 1996 Major International. There's Jim Wiederhold, runner-up last year in this event. Starting next to him, Russell Durney. He'll have the crowd behind him. He is the home favorite here in Rhode Island. And next to him, Chad Smith, our #1 qualifier and probably the most aggressive starter in the group.
Chad Smith with the glasses and in the pole position is having a great time. He loves going fast. Russell Durney, the hometown favorites, glad to be here running for Team Hyper right alongside Chad. Jim Wiederhold thinks he has the X advantage by flipping his wheels around just before this race.
It's a race to the red monster, and there's one place to pass. You've got 200 meters on the top right here. You're going to make a move.
And they are 0.2 of a second quicker than our previous best split. Chad Smith has never been out of first place at this point in a race. But right now, he's got competition into the S's.
Jim Wiederhold is right on his tail, followed by Hyatt.
And look at that speed, 46 miles an hour plus. The first 2 skaters advance once again. Chad Smith is unstoppable.
Chad Smith came out here so much enthusiasm. He's just attacking it. He said, I don't care what happens. I'm going to just go for it, get out in front, and take this thing.
So Chad Smith and last year's runner-up Jim Wiederhold advance. What a race. Chad Smith trains in Cumming, Georgia with our defending inline champ Derek Downing, who could not compete this year due to an injury. So he's skating with the energy of both men, you might say. Here he is bringing Wiederhold with him to the finish. He has not only been awesome, he has been amped, and he moves on to the next round. Now let's get back to the top of the hill.
Don't touch that dial.
No, Derek, we won't. Derek Para, member of the USA National Ice Speed Skating Team, in addition to his exploits on inlines. Dante Muse.
Make it through this one.
Look at that medal total in Olympic Festival competition. No inline skater has won more.
Are you ready? Because I'm ready.
John Dendravina? Absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
Right here.
And there is B.J. Steketee, who was in this race as a result of that controversial disqualification of Jonathan Webster. Gun is up.
Attention.
They are away. Good start for Dante Muse. Oh, Steketee spins and falls.
It looked like Trevina and Steketee collided, quick skates. I would think the officials should call that back.
Well, you see, Steketee is nowhere. Trevina is going to have to make up a lot of time, and he's got to be careful here in the monster. And he gets out to the hay bales and falls himself.
Well, it looks like Derek Para and Dante Muse are going to be moving on to the final. All they have to do is stay on their feet. Oh, we saw Dante Muse with a little slip there.
The bigger man Muse following right on the heels of Para, and now they're going to pump. They're going to race this all the way to the line. These guys are both going to advance, but they want to race it to the checkers. And the times are outstanding. Look at that, 40.829. Both of our semis have been won in times that were quicker than pole position for this race.
But those guys are pumped to be moving on to the final.
And with good reason. Now let's see what happened to B.J. Steketee. Far left of your screen, a little awkward getting away.
You can see Steketee's trying to get in front of Trevina. Trevina doesn't want to let him in. They collide. Usually the official will call them back in that instance. And then Trevina trying to make up the ground. His feet just get away from him, and he slides into the hay bales.
Meanwhile, Para and Muse just kept pumping, beating on each other all the way to the finish. Are you surprised they were trying this hard?
They must not have known that Trevina went down in that corner. But then again, Para is the type of skater who will fight all the way to the finish line.
And so is Muse. That's what makes them champions, and the race was that close. Muse by thousandths of a second. They are now in the final, where they will meet our #1 qualifier, Chad Smith, and last year's runner-up, Jim Wiederhold.
Time now to go back to College Hill, the intrepid inline downhillers gold medal race. For the less fortunate, a trip to the state of Rhode Island has meant road rash, but 4 have survived the cut. They're lined up on College Hill. Back up to Bob Varsha and Eric Flame.
Time now for our championship final in men's inline downhill, and what a quartet they are.
Here we go.
There's cable guy Derek Para, who ran 40.833 in his heat. There is a man who chased to the final in that semi, Dante Muse, 40.829. These times all faster than our #1 qualifier. Close look there at last year's runner-up, Jim Wiederhold.
Coming at you, baby.
And there is Chad Smith, Mr. Cannon Start.
Chad Smith has won every race he's been in today, and he just changed his wheels, and he said he's going to be even faster this time.
You can see the confidence and the intensity in these guys' faces as they enter into this corner. Chad Smith, every time he's wanted to come in first into the corner.
Oh, he's got to take a tighter line now, though. Still emerges first from that corner and into the bales he goes. Smith is down. Para and Muse now fight over the lead. Here comes Wiederhold in blue.
And it's a tight race. Derek Para moving around the outside into second place. They're all tight.
45.3 miles an hour. It's just the traps. Anybody's race at this point. Muse leads him down the hill toward the line. Wiederhold pumping hard. Para in second trying to come on. Dante Muse is your champion.
And the master, the veteran, Dante Muse, 29 years old. What a finish.
The Racing Muse brothers from Des Moines, Iowa, chalk up another gold medal. Let's watch this one again. Here they come.
As they roll down to the finish, Dante Muse not letting anybody get by him, just pumping all the way. Derek Parrott trying desperately, but no way can he pass Dante Muse.
Dante Muse, you've done it, the inline champion here at the X Games. What were you thinking going into the first 90 there when Chad was ahead of you and then went into bales?
Well, to be honest with you, I was kind of on the outside, and I saw Chad just going full on, and I was like, no way. And I tried to make my cut because Derek Parra went wide, and Derek and I bumped, but I grabbed a hold of him to hold him up in there because Chad at that point was falling, and you know, I just slingshotted up the inside, which I didn't know I didn't even think I was going to make it, but I did. I came down, I was just giving it my all, and I just like to say hello to Emily back home. My face is okay. Say hi to everybody, and I'm just glad that I won this thing.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Congratulations to Dante Muse. But back up in the Red Monster, Chad Smith, who lived by the sword, died by it.
He went into that turn too tight, almost takes Derek Parra down with him, and opens up a hole for Dante Muse to come through.
No question about it, the turning point of the race. There's the podium, bronze to Jim Wiederholt on the right, silver to Derek Parra on the left, and for Dante Muse, another gold medal for his already impressive collection. He is the X Games Inline Downhill Champion.
We're no longer taking it lying down. It's down the luge course on skates as the downhill inliners tackle Mission Valley Run. No streets too high, no course too fast for the daring guys and girls on 5 wheels. The big air jump, hey, you never know, nothing's off limits. We're in the shadows of the Magic Mountain, and welcome back to the Cabana for day 3 of the X Games. Hi everyone, I'm Chris McKendry, and tonight we're featuring inlines of all kinds. We're going to get to the vert where there's a great battle going on between a couple of mates from down under, Matt Salerno and Cesar Mora. But we begin tonight with the downhill inliners, and they would rather not catch big air and remain aerodynamic. For the past 2 years, the women's downhill inline competition has been following a Gypsy's advice. 1996 and 97 world champion Gypsy Tidwell, to be exact, and she is a great sprinter. And as the women try to make adjustments from the usual inline oval to this one-of-a-kind downhill race, Gypsy's sprinting style has led the way. But earlier today, the 2-time X Games gold medalist made it through the chicanes of the course, and in the straightaway, or the strip as the losers were calling it, she took a mean spill. In her words, she hit a seam in the road and she slid down the rest of the course. Well, Tidwell was taken to the Oasis Sports Medical Center and treated for abrasions of the buttocks. A bad case of road rash. She was released. That tough run could have been her last at the X Games. Tidwell's hinted at retiring and possibly having a family. Well, with the overwhelming favorite now out of the race, our attention turns to the teens. Cheryl Ezel's one to watch. She's a 19-year-old, and she's been racing since she was 6. Paul Page, Eric Flame, and Bill Weber introduce a now wide-open competition.
It's the fastest course they've ever seen in women's downhill inline. At the top, it's tactical and technical. At the bottom, it's downright frightening.
Dedication and determination has brought 16 women to the Mission Valley Run, but drafting could decide who gets the gold in San Diego.
The quarterfinals are a head-to-head race. 4 on the course at a time, 2 go on to the next round, and 2 head for the beach. The first race for the women's downhill from the U.S., Jessica Smith and Debbie Rice. France's Caroline Jean and Cheryl Ezel.
The skaters will hear their commands from the starter. He will say, take your mark, set, and they'll be off. If they have 2 false starts, you're out of the race.
To your mark. Set. A strange hesitation on the start. Keep an eye on Ezel over on the far side.
Lizelle wanting to slow down and have somebody else take the lead, but then she decides to take it herself.
She begins to pull out a bit. That John in second place. Remember, only first and second will transfer.
It looks like 2 are away. That's Lizelle and John. And that's a good position. If 3 were back, then Lizelle would be in trouble. But right now, she looks safe to qualify on.
In the practice and qualifying, aerodynamics has made a world of difference. It's still Lizelle and Jean. 55 miles an hour, almost 56. And Lizelle leads Jean across the line, and those 2 will transfer. So there's our first taste of the women's inline downhill. And believe me, nearly 56 miles an hour on skates is very fast indeed.
We'll get back out to Paul Page with more quarterfinal coverage to come. Now, Lizelle's won almost every major title, including just this May, the Ultimate Inline Challenge 20K race. She beat Julie Brandt in that race, another favorite at these games now, and we'll see her a bit later on. Well, earlier this evening, we showed you 2-time gold medalist Gypsy Tidwell in the inline downhill course, and she had trouble on the straightaway, and she's knocked out of the competition. She managed the very technical chicanes of the course. However, others have not been so fortunate. We return now to Paul Page, who offers a course description before advancing more skaters into the semifinals.
Well, the fight continues in the women's downhill at the Mission Valley Run here in San Diego. Up at the top, it's 243 feet higher in elevation than at the bottom. Now, the key here is to have a good kick on the start. But you really don't want to go too fast because you're immediately into the funnel. And energy management is crucial here because the next set of turns is the black hole. In there too fast, you're into the barrier. Too slow, and you're not carrying enough momentum because at the bottom of the 1,200-foot run, you'd like to see 60 miles an hour. Now, there have been some incidents at that black hole. This is Jessica Apgar and Michelle Bizot. Look at the energy in that flip. Despite all of that, both are okay, and they're ready to go in our next race. But there is a significant change in the lineup at the top of the hill. 3 skaters, not 4. A very important absence.
And that lane would belong to Gypsy Tidwell, but she suffered a vicious fall in her qualifying run prior to the competition and was forced to withdraw. Michelle Bizot is only 15 years old. She's here to compete in the X Games. Teresa Cliff is 19 years old. She's from Michigan, the first woman to win a world championship road race. And Jessica Apgar would have to be the favorite in this heat.
Clear. Skaters to your mark. Red.
Michelle Bizot in practice flipped over the black hole hay bales, so she may be a little bit tentative in this race. Teresa Cliff attacking this first and second turn, riding a nice line through there.
Now down on the strip. Bizot, Cliff might see another upset here. Apgar still trying to fight for it. Apgar comes forward. Oh, getting wobbly there. What looked like it was going to be a battle goes away. Apgar comes to the lead, and she's chased to the finish by Teresa Cliff. California's Peggy Tillinghast, a sophomore to competition. Desley Hill from Perth, Australia. Serena Hayden and Jennifer Jones. Now, the interesting part of this 4-racer matchup is that Jennifer Jones, there from Iowa, was the silver medalist in '96. If you look 2 lanes over, Desley Hill from Perth, Australia, was the bronze medalist in '96. Clear. Skaters to your mark. Set.
Desley Hill, a strong sprinter. Look for her to go out in front.
That's exactly what she does. That's Hill, the yellow helmet, out in the lead.
You can see here they're going to try to get all the way to the outside, entering into this corner, and then try and cut it out.
Three down. Now the question is who's first up. One is hurt.
That looks like Jennifer Jones, I believe, who's got up and is now in second position.
And in pursuit of Hill, Jennifer Jones on the strip, both into the top.
Here come our skaters. Let's give it up.
I think that's Sabrina Hayden now. She goes around Jones. It's going to be a battle. Now Jones is in Hayden's draft.
Jones looking to come out of the draft, see if she can hang on to it. Hayden sprints a bit, but now.
And there you see just how crucial the draft is.
It's Hill and Jones at transfer.
Sabrina Hayden breaking an awful lot with that right foot. Slows herself down. She doesn't like the fact that she's got a lot of speed going to this corner. The other skaters are riding up on her. You can see her wheels get away from her, and she goes right into the corner there. Three-person pileup.
This is how Peggy Tillinghast saw it as she headed into the black hole. Cut into the bales, put her hand up, but then flipping and rolling through the air. Got a view of almost everything. Now, she was concerned because she's going to get married that she didn't have any road rash. Well, she's got road rash, and the word from the chorus is she also has a broken clavicle. We'll be back with more.
Mountain Dew presents tomorrow at the X Games. The final descent of women's inline downhill. Speeds over 50 miles an hour. Standing up. Windshields are optional.
Meanwhile, no tricks, just speed. Aggressive inline downhill women's finals.
That's why they call it the X Games, baby.
Back at the Mission Valley Run for the downhill inline women's competition quarterfinals. Georgia's Kim Darnell, a rookie to X Game competition. Amy Sanderson, she finished 5th last year. Donna Helgenberg at age 31 finished 6th in the 97 games. And there's Julie Brandt.
Julie Brandt, a silver medalist a year ago. She's in lane 6, second fastest qualifier for this event.
Michigan.
Clear. Skaters to your mark. Set.
A lot of strategy taking place at the top of the hill. You can see the skaters, they're not really pushing the speed. Early on, Julie Brandt, the favorite in this race, going for that second place position.
She tucks in behind Donna Helgenberg. Whoa, a lot of speed through the black hole. They all make it through.
And here the idea is to get low. You want to be in an aerodynamic position and be closer on that pad. You've got 3 skaters together, and they'll be pulling away from that girl in the back.
Brandt, Sanderson, Helgenberg running together. 56.9 miles an hour with bare legs.
Julie Brandt in a real nice low aerodynamic tuck. No problem for her moving on to the next round, and Helgenberg right with her.
So some X Games veterans continue to move forward. Big names in the sport, like Gazelle and Apgar. And what about Sanderson and Brandt? Julie Brandt, last year's silver medalist, the 19-year-old from Grand Rapids, Michigan.
67.
Can she make it gold this year?
And we'll find out as we feature the women's inline downhill semifinals as well as the final tomorrow night. Also tomorrow, we'll debut the men's downhill inline competition, and the favorite coming in, Derek Downing. It was 2 gold medals to show for 2 X Games appearances. 100% golden boy. Last year in San Diego, Downing made a triumphant return after missing the '96 season with a broken collarbone. In addition to taking X Games gold, he won 11 golds between the World Championship and Pan American Games. And today, Downing back on the qualifying course. He completed the course in just over 38 seconds. Downing says his style is to drag race his competition to the bottom. Green flag drops tomorrow night.
The action started with 16 competitors. We're down to 8 in the semifinal round. The trick on the 1,200-foot Mission Valley Run is energy management. Kick hard right at the start, but not too hard. You really don't want too much speed as you leave the line. The very first turn is off to the right. It's the funnel. You carry momentum after this. Then it's the black hole. If you get through here perfectly, it's into the tuck. You drop 243 feet in elevation, and you're looking for 60 miles an hour at the bottom. The semis, 2 races. 2 from each race will go to the medal round. Apgar, Cliff, John, and Ezell. First to the semifinals.
Cheryl Ezell in lane 6, the fastest qualifier. Next to her, Caroline Jean, who was the 8th fastest qualifier for this competition. Then 2 women who advanced with upsets in the quarters. Teresa Cliff, and on the inside, Jessica Apgar.
But don't forget that 189 Apgar is the bronze medalist from last year.
That.
Oh, little game plan at the top. Now Apgar moves into the lead. Cliff comes into second.
Jessica Apgar forced into that undesirable first position. Teresa Cliff, a very experienced skater. Look at her go wide.
Oh! Cliff hard into the barrier. Takes everybody with her. Now the fight to get up and see who will come up first.
There's one more qualifying position left. And Ezell, Cliff, and Jean are all going to be fighting for it.
Apgar pulls steadily away. The battle's going to be for second, and it may not be much of a battle.
Cheryl Ezell getting nice and low, hands out in front, shoulders in into that aerodynamic tuck, and see if she'll be able to hang on.
Oh, they're not going to catch Cheryl Ezell, so Jessica Apgar takes the win. And here's Ezell. She will transfer along with Apgar.
A very tight group of 4 skaters with Apgar leading. And what happens? Teresa Cliff goes too wide and can't hang on into that black hole turn. She takes out Ezell and Jean. The 3 have to get up and scramble for that last spot.
Third in the line, that is Ezell behind Cliff. Now watch her hands as they turn into the corner. Apgar starts, Ezell reaches up, and right there is why the officials decided there was a disqualification. Ezell is out, Cliff is in. This course here has proven to be very difficult.
When we return, human convertibles. No roofs, no windows, just bodies and wheels speeding at 50 in the women's downhill finals.
Ready for the second semifinal in women's downhill inline. The last 2 that will be contributed to the final round and the medals. Boy, another powerful race here with a lot of former medalists. Over in lane number 6, that is Julie Brandt, the silver medalist last year.
Go Team Big Beats.
Alongside is Jennifer Jones, the silver
Team
medalist
green.
2 years ago. Then Amy Sanderson, yet to win a medal. But Desley Hill from Perth, Australia, the bronze medalist from 1996.
Clear. Haters to your mark. Set.
With a deep field like this, there's going to be a lot of strategy taking place. The skaters all know that each and every one of these women in this field has a real strong chance of moving on to the next round, to the final, actually.
Hill jumps out in front. Jennifer Jones second, but they're all together there.
Julie Brandt, the skater in the 3rd position. You can see she has her hand on Jennifer Jones in front of her. That's allowed as long as you don't grab the hips and use that to pull yourself by.
Now Julie Brandt with Amy Sanderson in tow. Nice pass there. The draft working perfectly. We'll see if they'll battle to the bottom. Remember, there's no need. No, they don't. Brandt and Sanderson go to the finals where they will face Apgar and Cliff. Here's the way they will now line up for the final. Apgar. Cliff will replace Ezell, who was DQ'd. Brandt and Sanderson.
And we'll go back for the final 4. Interesting to see only one of the top 5 seeds, Julie Brandt, remains. However, it's unpredictable. For the past 2 years, Julie Brandt's been the top qualifier, but she's yet to skate away with gold. Now we're reaching a banner year for the Brandt family. Julie's brother Dave was a left tackle on the national championship team, the Michigan Wolverines. So one drought dealt with, but another one's at hand. Julie's trying to improve on last year's silver medal finish. And there's only one place to go, and that's up to gold. We join Paul Page, Eric Flame, and Bill Weber.
Mountain Dew presents tomorrow at the X Games. The final descent of women's inline downhill. Speeds over 50 miles an hour. Standing up. Windshields are optional.
Meanwhile, no No tricks, just speed. Aggressive inline downhill women's finals.
That's why they call it the X Games, baby.
We started with 16. We're now down to 4. This is the medal round, the championship round. One thing is for certain, we will see a brand new gold medalist. Over in the far lane, that's Julie Brandt. She was the silver medalist last year. Amy Sanderson from Huntington Beach, California is next to her. She's never medaled. Nor has Teresa Cliff from Cedar Springs, Michigan. But Jessica Apgar from Carmichael, California was the bronze medalist last year.
Skaters to your mark. Set.
Julie Brandt, the fastest qualifier in the time trial, I would have to say is the favorite. But if I'm Julie, I would prefer to be in the third position. That has seemed to be the ideal position to be first across the line at the finish.
At the moment, it's Apgar and then Brandt. They make it fine through the black hole.
Teresa Cliff back and forth has caught back on. And she's also a favorite, but there's 3 skaters that are working well together, and it looks like Cliff hasn't quite caught on.
It's still Apgar and Brandt. Now the fight begins. They break out coming to the bottom. Brandt and Sanderson. Brandt and Sanderson. Going to the bottom. Brandt and Sanderson, 1 and 2. Gold and silver. It's been a long time in coming, but Julie Brandt finally has her X Games gold. Amy Sanderson takes the silver, Teresa Cliff the bronze. Here's Bill.
Woo! Yeah, baby. X Games is the best.
The best for you. You got the gold. Congratulations.
That's right. Thank you very much.
Tell me about the race.
I just came off the start in second place, and we were kind of just cruising through the chicane, and I was waiting for somebody to pull out before me, and it was getting pretty close to the finish line, and finally I said, I got to go for it. So I just pulled out and went for it.
Is that what you call that, just cruising through the chicane?
Oh, yeah, just cruising.
How about coming down the strip? That's a pretty fast piece of territory.
Yeah, it is. You got high-speed wobbles. You're going about 56 miles per hour. It's pretty intense.
And how about through the black hole?
Through the black hole is the scariest part for me. Making it through there without falling is great.
How's it feel to have an X Games gold here in 1998?
Oh, man, 1997 I had a silver medal, but it's just not anywhere near the feeling of a gold.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
The road to gold at the X Games required speed and survival. Julie Brandt came home number 1. She survived with speed.
Now she has a great memory, but last year Julie won that silver, finishing not a skate, but a wheel behind Gypsy Tidwell. And take a look. This is about the size of the wheel. That's how far behind she was. This year she just wanted to place in the top 3 without, as she said, killing herself. She's a big winner all around. Julie's joining us later tonight on the show.
Shows he can skate straight. The 2-time Olympian on icy ovals continues his quest for gold at the X Games at 8:30 Eastern and 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 Pacific on ESPN2.
Welcome back to the X Games. We're joined tonight by the 2 women making all the news on the inline downhill course. Julie Brandt, of course, taking the gold medal, and 15-year-old Michelle Buzeau taking 8th place. But what a remarkable finish considering how it started. You had one of the most dramatic crashes I think we've ever seen here at the X Games. We're going to take a look at the tape. Now, you don't want to look at it. You've already told us that, but you definitely have the mental picture going in your mind. What happened when you hit the hole?
I just wasn't paying attention, and someone, cut it real sharp, and I wasn't paying attention, and I just ran straight into the hay bales and flew over them.
How did you get up to the top of the hill again and do it one more time?
I was lucky enough that I didn't see me fall, and I wasn't hurt real bad, so I just was lucky, and so I just went up to the top, and I was scared, but I knew I had to do it just because I thought it was fun before, and so.
Thought it was fun. That's why you're a member of the junior world team at 15 years old. Now, Julie, you watched the tape just now, and you're grimacing. What's your thoughts on it?
Well, that was a pretty nasty spill, and I don't know. I don't know how she survived it. I don't know how she went back up to the top of that hill and skated again. And to see her without a scrape.
It happens when you're young. And you say there's no way to avoid those crashes?
No, I don't think there is. 99% of the time when you're in a black hole like that one was, that corner was so tight that coming out of it, there's just not enough room for you to get by. So you're probably going to go over them.
And it is quite a change for both of you. Normally you're racing in ovals 1 or 2 times a year, maybe just 1 time at the X Games. We're sending you down a hill with chicanes. Losers go down that course. How do you adjust?
I don't know. I think that we're just on our skates almost every day of our life, and we're real agile, and we just take those skills and put it to the hill.
Now, Julie, last year you took the silver, but just by a wheel, as you like to say. Did you think you'd get so close again this year?
No, I wanted to get as close as I did, but I didn't know because there's so many things that can go wrong, like poor Michelle over here. So I was very fortunate that I didn't have any spills, or I was just very fortunate.
What was your first thought when you looked down this hill?
When I'm looking at the black hole, seeing nothing but banners and not where I'm supposed to turn, I was a little nervous. But after you take the turn and you get used to it, and you get more confidence and get down the hill better. So,
what do you do when you're not skating?
When I'm not skating, I'm working on my wedding plans for my wedding in December, and working at me and my fiance's company, Verducci.
And how about you, Michelle?
I go to school and I train. That's the only thing I do.
And everybody's going to see this piece of tape by September. It's going to be quite amazing.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Are you taking your skates on your honeymoon?
I don't think so.
You don't go skating every day of your life?
Well,
thanks a lot, Julie and Michelle. Great races, both of you. We're so glad to see you up and walking. Thanks a lot. X Games will continue right after this. Come on back to San Diego.
First, to the men's inline downhill, the only race of its kind all year featuring world-class skaters on flat tracks and ice. Several of the racers have been spotted mooning the crowd after practice runs. They didn't mean to. It's just that when spandex meets asphalt at high speeds, asphalt wins and skin pays the price. You need testosterone and tactics to win each heat as we join Paul Page, U.S. Olympian Eric Flame, and Bill Weber.
This is the men's downhill inline. In the first 2 years at Providence, it was a very technical course. Last year at Oceanside, they added speed. This year, they've really added speed. This is the fastest course these men have ever faced. They're looking at 63 miles an hour. They have a sense that this is going to be a whale of a competition.
These 32 competitors face a frightening skate down a 1,200-foot track. The only thing between the skater and a skin-scraping ride along the pavement, 10 80-millimeter wheels, a great sense of balance, a lot of skill, and a little luck.
First round of men's competition pits the fastest and the slowest. Justin Ferris, Nate DePalma, Jason McDaniel, and the fastest qualifier, that's Chad Smith.
The skaters will hear the commands from the starter. Take your mark and ready. Then once they clear the start, they have to stay in their lanes until the end of the chute. That's a lane and a half wide that they have to stay in.
There's Chad Smith. He's got 2 fourths and a fifth, but he's never medaled in 3 years of X Game competition. In his qualifying, he was nearly 62 miles an hour at the bottom.
Skaters to your mark.
Now, a false start can be costly because if you get a second one, you are out of the competition.
Set.
Oh, and they dig very hard, very early on as Chad Smith and Jason McDaniel battle.
Chad Smith has been practicing his starts back home in Georgia. He always attacks. This is his style.
They come way out and one down as they head through the black hole. But it's Chad Smith and Jason McDaniel. First and second, those are the two that will transfer.
Chad Smith looking very strong, but I hope those skaters that went down are all right. These two are definitely going to qualify through to the next round.
59.8 miles an hour. Not the speed we showed earlier. And they're hoping, though, that if they get a good draft, that will increase the speed for everybody. So Jason McDaniel and Chad Smith transfer.
Watch the third third skater on the screen here. He goes in a little too tight, and you can see his outside skate gets away from him, and at that point, there's no coming back. And the skater in the fourth position, there was no place to go. Chad Smith lifting up his inside leg to get around that corner, and Nate DePalma eats the hay bales. Unfortunate for him.
In the first round of men's inline downhill, we start with the 32 qualifiers. 4 per race, 2 advance. The trick on the 1,200-foot Mission Valley Run is energy management. Kick hard right at the start, but not too hard. You really don't want too much speed as you leave the line. The very first turn is off to the right. It's the funnel. You carry momentum after this. Then it's the black hole. If you get through here perfectly, it's into the tuck. You drop 243 feet in elevation, and you're looking for 60 miles an hour at the bottom. This is an international round. Pascal Briand and Franck Cardin of France, Tony Muse and Russell Dernier of the United States.
Briand and Cardin of France have trained together in the Alps for this event. Now, they're going to be working together as a team, and ideally, they're going to want to come from the back, get the slingshot effect of the draft, and go to the front.
That. Oh, man, look at the tactics. Tony Muse pulls up. He looks around. The two Frenchmen are trying to figure out what to do. Muse cuts across and back.
Tony Muse is very experienced. He's watching the French skaters. He wants to keep them separated. But there goes Briand. He's committed himself. Now he's going to have to go.
Pascal Briand on down the hill. Now Tony Muse in front, but he doesn't really want to be there.
Muse is still standing up. Look, nobody in the back is going to want to take the lead. It looks like Dernier. Dernier's the one who's committed.
Dernier finally moves into second place. Tony Muse sits just behind Cardin in fourth.
Tony Muse in a very good spot. He's starting to catch in the draft. Him and the other French skater, Cardin, are working together now, and they're going to pass Dernier.
It's decision time. Muse comes out to the left. He's got the speed, and so he will follow Pascal Briand, and they will transfer. When we come back, it's more of the men's downhill inline. We're in the first round of action. All from the United States, Troy Atwell from California, Jeremy Anderson from up in Kent, Washington, Stephen Carter from Pennsylvania, and Scott Hyatt. He is a two-time veteran of X Games.
I like Scott Hyatt in this race. He's hungry. He doesn't have a big sponsor. He can really use the money. He got fourth in the time trial. And Stephen Carter is a very strong sprinter. He showed up late. He skated the regionals, but he's here to compete hard. Again, we see the strategy. The sprinter's going to the front. Hyatt likes sitting in the pack and getting that slipstream effect coming out for that long straightaway.
Carter in front, Hyatt in second. Now they start to dig. Still no break. Hyatt conserves in second place.
Now we have all four skaters real tight. They're in a train-like effect, and you're going to see the back skaters slingshot off. That's Hyatt going on. There he goes. He's in the front now.
Now with Hyatt moving to the lead, interesting because if you team up, you can go faster.
It looked like Hyatt got beat out. That is a serious upset. That was Jeremy Anderson just nipping Hyatt at the line there.
So Atwell and Anderson transfer. Hyatt, very early, round one, is out of competition.
Hyatt coming from the back, trying desperately to get that second place qualifying position. But here's Atwell. He does what they call an eagle hawk. He stretches out his front leg in just enough to qualify him into the next round.
As we head up back to the top of the hill, here at the X Games, there are many different forms of inlining disciplines. But here in downhill, the skates are unique. Bill Weber?
certainly a big difference between aggressive inline skating and inline downhill, and as you might expect, a big difference in the equipment too. For example, this is an inline downhill skate. As you can see, it's a shorter boot but a bigger frame. This allows for 5 wheels. That means more contact and greater speed. This basically is modeled after a speed skating ice skate. Now here is the aggressive inline skate. As you can see, it's a taller boot but a smaller frame, only 4 wheels. That's for better performance and more versatility. This is modeled after an ice hockey skate. One big difference is the size of the wheels. 80 millimeters for the inline downhill, about 55 to 57 for the aggressive inline. Of course, the surface will determine the durometer of the wheels you use.
2 Texans here, Jason Husk and Thomas Cloud. And then Whites and Patrick Naylor, the only veteran in this lineup.
And Husk in the inside lane, the youngest competitor here, just 16 years of age.
Clear. Skaters to your mark. Set.
Patrick Naylor in the outside lane wearing an Alpine speed suit. He said he feels comfortable in it, and it gives him a lot of confidence.
And Naylor starts to dig very early on, carrying great speed down through the back hole. 1 down, 2 down.
It looks like Husk and Whites, the Alpine skier Whites, is down. He was riding 6 wheels. He's out.
So that leaves Naylor and Cloud. They transfer too. Assuming everybody makes it to the bottom safe, which there's no reason not to think that. Naylor and Thomas Cloud will transfer. That black hole has been devastating to any number of people in the practice, and now it's affecting competition itself.
Well, that's a good break for Naylor, and that's why it's important to get out in front. You can get out of that danger of the possibility of crashing in the back of the pack. Jason Husk, the skater in 3rd position right here on your screen, is in trouble. He goes in a little too tight into the black hole and loses his footing. You can see right there he catches the inside of the hay bales and he's out. And then Weiss goes down as well. He just can't pick a good line, and he goes into the other hay bales on the outside of the corner. Both skaters are down and out of the competition.
So that's an interesting elimination. Here you can see the first through coming through. That's a hard hit in the black hole, and it's very nasty when you get a knee down. But the end of the race is right there because 2 transfer.
Time for a booty call. Casey Boudier, named top overall American speed skater the last 3 years, 5th place in the 1,500 meters at the Nagano Olympics. He knows President Clinton and knows all of the Travolta moves from Saturday Night Fever. But this ain't no disco at Mission Valley Run. The last thing you want to do is spins and splits. Back to the treacherous race course for more of the downhill prelims. Paul Page, Eric Flame, and Bill Weber.
Back at the Mission Valley Run, we continue with the first round of men's downhill inline. 2 rookies here, Sudi Atkins of the UK. Now, hard to call him a rookie, but he is the ex-competition. Casey Boudier, then Eddie Metzger and Dane Lewis, both veterans.
Casey Boudier and I were teammates over at the Olympics in Nagano, Japan. This is Casey's first X Game appearance, but he's a 2-time Olympian and an incredibly good inline racer.
Clear. Skaters to your mark. Set.
A little hesitation there. It looked like they were going to go to the tactical moves, and then suddenly it's a sprint.
That is surprising. Dane Lewis, who had a great qualifying run, decides to start in a little bit of a back position. He's in 3rd now. He's going to have to move up if he wants to qualify into the next round.
Casey and Lewis.
That's Eddie Metzger out in the front, but I think he's starting to get eaten up now by, yeah, there they go. Boudier and Lewis blow right by Metzger.
And that shows you the advantage of drafting with a buddy on this circuit as they run down the strip. The advantage of 2 people together really helps it out. And Boudier and Lewis will be the guys that transfer. So you work with a buddy until you get close to the line and you break. The big man, Pennsylvania's Jeff Foster, Chad Hetrick from Texas, Dante Muse, and Derek Parra.
And a big matchup here between Parra and Moose. Parra 2nd, Muse 1st years ago here in the X Games.
So a rematch of that medal round from 2 years ago. This should be interesting, especially if one goes out.
Watch Chet Hedrick.
Now Hedrick drops back. It's going to be Muse and Para.
Hedrick in the practice rounds was very scared and cautious, and you can see here, he went down.
That takes Foster and Hedrick out. As you suggested, fear will bite you.
That's right. If you're afraid of falling, chances are it's going to happen, and it happened to Chad Hedrick right there.
Para and
Looks like those two guys are going to be coming.
They're going to hook together, and I think we're going to see a fight at the line.
These guys have been there before, but I think right now they both just want to worry about qualifying on and getting into that next round.
That's the way they were going to go. We'll play it safe. We know we're both in. Winning doesn't matter here. It will matter a great deal later.
Watch these two skaters, Hedrick and Foster. Hedrick just seems tentative as he enters his turn. You see him, he opens up, and his wheels just seem to get away from him. There's nowhere for Foster to go. He goes down as well.
When we come back, the two-time gold medalist, Derek Downing. Micah Martin, Stanley Bunn, B.J. Stuckety, and Keith Turner. An interesting matchup on the end.
Turner is a very strong sprinter. I spoke with him yesterday. He wants to win here bad. He was second last year. And B.J. Stuckety placed third.
Clear. Mark. That.
Boy, Turner digs very hard. Stuckety comes into second. Stan Bunn drops into third in the blue outfit.
Turner needs to set up his turn well, and he does a nice job. Very of a crash.
Micah Martin, he goes down and goes down hard. But now we have a three-way battle.
The skaters are spread out enough so that there isn't anybody getting a real optimal draft. We'll have to see if Turner can hang on here.
Here comes Bunn making his charge now. Both of them solidly in the top. Battle for second.
Turner, Elon, look at that one toe. Oh.
So it's Turner and B.J. Stuckety that will transfer. But Stan Bunn looked great coming down.
B.J. Stuckety in the middle of your screen makes a nice move here. He comes around the outside. He's trying to pass Turner, but then he gets back in the draft, and that allows him at least to qualify in second position and move on to the next round.
This is the last race of round one. Gary Gandy from Tacoma, Washington. Colorado's Kelly Springer, Dan Berger from California, and the great Derek Downing.
And Downing has 2 gold medals from 95 and 97, and he sought out a little drafting help to get ready for this competition.
I'm totally into, race cars, fast cars. Anything fast is just totally what I enjoy.
Derek Downing's love of speed is expressed through his sport. His love of fast cars offers an edge.
From watching NASCAR, I just, thought, hey, if these guys do it going 180, 190 miles an hour, we can do it going 50 miles an hour.
It is drafting, the bond between NASCAR driver Bill Elliott and Derek Downing.
Drafting is everything. You've got to have drafting to do anything.
Drafting is a major thing, just like in NASCAR racing. They're behind the slipstream, they pull out, you slingshot by, you shoot to the finish line, and you score. And it's basically the same thing as NASCAR does for us.
It's a split second, one way or the other. Just like go back to my deal at Talladega. Yeah, I still hurt from that one, but if I could have been maybe 6 inches farther to the left, that's all it takes. It's just a matter of inches.
If you're not timing it right, it can be fatal for you, and you just call the race.
Where's the brakes? That's what I want to know.
Downing seems to lack the need for stopping. It's all about accelerating. Training involves a father coach as the pace setter, and a fast car, of course.
Oh, he is punching it. We've gone probably 55 miles an hour before down a hill a little bit, and I've skated it, stroking, and most people can't stroke at 55 miles an hour because they get too much, you start getting speed wobble. And I think it teaches you how to control the speed wobble a little bit.
Whether on 4 wheels or 8, races are won and lost on basic principles, racing tactics, and capitalizing on opportunity.
So I think you have to make the move at the right second, and if you don't, I mean, it could be critical. You could just lose the race just like that.
The chain just keeps getting tighter and tighter until somebody, ends up making a pretty bad mistake.
You want to be close when you're passing. You don't want to be way over here in left field. You want to be right next to him so you get that full momentum right by the person.
I'd say the drafting tip here would be just lace up and hang on.
Derek Downing has 2 gold medals in X competition. The only time he didn't score a gold, he had to sit out with an injury.
Clear. Gators to your mark. Set.
Another skater to watch in this field is Dan Berger. He trains in the hills of San Francisco with Eddie Matsker, and he loves the downhill. He may not be a great sprinter, but watch for him at the finish.
Gary Gandy came out strong as well. Downing leads it down the hill through the first set of corners, down through the second.
Downing has a nice gap, but if the skaters behind him work together, there you see Berger passing Gandy. They will have more speed and get into Downing's draft.
So Berger now moves into second place. He's followed now by Kelly Springer.
And Berger just passed Downing, and here comes the other skater, Springer, and he moves past Downing.
So what an amazing turn of events as Derek Downing fails to move forward. Dan Berger takes the win, and Kelly Springer comes just behind, and they did it right before the finish line.
What an upset. Derek Downing is the second place skater, and what he does, a very costly error, he pulls out of the draft. And just like in NASCAR Super Speedway, if you pull out of the draft, you get passed.
Berger and Springer go on to transfer. What an incredible upset. It's either all or nothing. And this year, it's nothing for Derek Downing.
And that is a major disappointment for Downing, who was seen there describing the importance of drafting. Awesome Bill from Dawsonville. Bill Elliott, his buddy, would be very disappointed. Downing getting out of the draft, losing ground. He is eliminated. Sure, you need guts to risk hay bale tasting crashes at 50 miles an hour in the inline downhill. But this event is kind of an X Games anomaly. For a change, aggressiveness and individuality are penalized. You need tactics and teamwork. Got to get your spandex backside into the draft or you're done. Paul Page, Olympian Eric Flame, and Bill Weber set up the quarters.
Ready for the quarterfinal round now, the men's downhill inline. The 2-time gold medalist, Derek Downing, he is out. The Olympian, Casey Boudier, a rookie here, he continues.
This is a very fast track, but strategy has been the key so far. Even if you make it through the funnel and then through the black hole, down the strip, if you watch carefully, you'll see the leader is not always the winner.
Francis Pascal Briand, he finished 9th last year. Jason McDaniel from Missouri, 14th in competition in '97. Then Tony Muse, a 3-time veteran of the X Games, and Chad Smith.
Tony Muse has never really posted a strong finish.
Anthony, Rachel, see me get home.
Clear. Gators to your mark.
Watch for Chad Smith's aggressive style. He always takes off, and here he goes again, charging for that front position.
Chad Smith in front, Tony Muse tucks in behind, followed by McDaniel and Briand, the second group.
Boy, Smith had a nice line through that black hole corner. But will he be able to hold them off? You've got 2 skaters, it looks like, Muse and McDaniel working together to close the gap on Smith.
That's Muse leading McDaniel, they come out, they move alongside of Chad Smith. Look at that.
Oh, Smith with his hands on his head, and he is defeated.
Chad Smith, because Muse and McDaniel teamed up, is blowing away at the bottom of the hill.
A major upset here. Chad Smith got off the line and charged as he usually does, but 2 skaters work together. Right here we see Tony Muse and McDaniel sliding by, working together in the draft, and Chad Smith can't believe it. Muse and McDaniel move on to the next round.
4 races of 4 competitors in the quarterfinal rounds. 2 out of each race advance to the semis. Troy Atwell, Thomas Cloud, Jeremy Anderson, and Patrick Naylor, who finished 6th last year in X competition.
Clear. Enter to your mark.
Patrick Naylor with that charging style in the Alpine speed suit. It's been specially designed and tested in a wind tunnel. He likes to get out in front and try and get away from the rest of the pack. We'll see if it'll work for him here. Oh, there's a crash.
Thomas Cloud goes down real hard. Patrick Naylor, we already know that aerodynamics makes a world of difference here. That speed suit may in fact be happening. Jeremy Anderson in 2nd place.
It looks like Anderson and Naylor are going to make it through, but Naylor, every time it's worked for him, he got out in front. And here,
Henderson comes around and then back. Oh.
The second skater, Thomas Cloud, following Patrick Naylor into the black hole turn. He gets a little too close, and he nudges the hay bales with his shoulder, and that throws him out into the far corner, and he bites it.
Accidents have more than contributed to competition here on the Mission Valley Run. When we come back, the Olympian Casey Boudier, but he's a rookie here at X. We're back in the quarterfinals on the Mission Valley Run. This is a monster race here. There's Dane Lewis from Sacramento, finished 11th last year. But look here. Here's Derek Parra, the silver medalist last year. And then Dante Muse, who was the gold medalist last year. And the rookie, Casey Boudier, but we call him a rookie. Remember, he's an Olympian.
Clear. Gators to your mark. That.
I really feel this is going to be a strategic race, and you can see the skaters jockeying for position. No one really wants to lead. They want to sit in that ideal 2nd or 3rd spot. Tony Muse is a veteran. You see him in 3rd spot right there, sitting in. And now they start to pick up speed as they get closer to the bottom of the hill.
Dante Muse hooks up with Casey Boudier. And that changes everything.
Derek Parra is off the back. He's done, but Dane Lewis makes a move on the outside and tries to make it over so that the other skaters can't get in his draft.
Casey Boudier. Wow. And the last race of these quarterfinals also makes for some interesting matchups.
Keith Turner, the 3rd fastest qualifier and a former medalist here at the X Games. Next to him is Dan Berger, he qualified 11th. B.J. Steckety, another former medalist in X Games competition. And Kelly Springer has the inside lane here in the last of the quarterfinal matchups.
Clear. Enter to your mark. That.
It looks like Dan Berger is going to try and catch him off guard. He charges out, but we'll have to see if this is going to pay off, because in the past rounds, it has not paid off to get out in front all by yourself.
Berger leads it. Steckety leads that 2nd group. Berger, boy, he's psyched him out.
He really caught him standing, but these 3 are working together, and for sure they'll close the gap. If it'll be enough, we'll have to wait and see.
Springer, Steckety, Turner, all grouped together there. Well, now they start drafting and swapping.
There goes Turner. He made a nice pass, but here comes Kelly Springer. A bit of a surprise.
Oh! He goes for the stretch, but I don't think so.
Kelly Springer has a clear track in front of him. He thinks he's going to qualify, but guess what? Here comes Turner in the draft, and Steckety right along with him. They buzz by, and there's nothing that Springer can do. At the finish, Keith Turner, in a desperate move, going at almost 60 miles an hour, tries to eagle hawk, but Steckety holds on to qualify.
When we return, it'll be the semifinal rounds. We'll whittle 8 down to 4, and then we'll determine the champion. Well, it's been a long, hard battle on the Mission Valley Run that brings us down now to the semifinals for the men's downhill inline.
Boy, you old
there
guys
is
out
Patrick Naylor. His best finish in X Games is 6th. Tony Muse, his best is an 8th. Jason McDaniel, no more than a 14th. And Jeremy Anderson has never raced in the X Games. They will contribute to 1/2 of the final round.
Enter to your mark.
And now the strategy comes into play. You see Naylor, he's usually out in front, but in this race, he's got some stiff competition, so he doesn't want to charge out.
Big time strategy. Now Naylor tries to pull away.
He made a jump, but it wasn't enough. You can see now that's McDaniel who's right on him. And another lead change. That looks like Anderson now who is taking over the lead.
Anderson skates to the front. Boy, look at all of these changes down the hill. Aerodynamics, all that matters here.
It's Tony Muse sitting in a nice spot, catching the draft. Will he qualify? Ooh, I don't know. I couldn't call it.
I'll tell you what, that is a terrific setup for a final round.
In slow motion, drafting that crucial component. McDaniel in the lead, but Anderson pulls off him, and as he goes by, he's got Tony Muse in tow. Muse moves to the middle, but watch the back of the screen right here. Patrick Naylor makes a super move. At the last minute, slingshots off, going from 4th place on the inside. You've got Anderson on the outside right here, but Naylor is going to pass Tony Muse at the last minute and qualify on to the final. What a finish. Anderson and Naylor.
These two races contribute the 4 competitors that will face one another in the final.
Skating this course, I discovered that the first corner is where you need to gauge your speed. You set it up a little bit, but it's that second corner, the big 90-degree black hole where you really need to set it up wide. You're going to be carrying your speed, and that is the key to keep the momentum through that corner all the way down the long straightaway to the finish.
Now we'll find out who the other 2 are for the semifinal round. There's Dane Lewis from Sacramento, 11th in the 97 games. Dan Berger has been in 95, 96, and 97 games. His best finish is 6th. BJ Steketee, he was the bronze medalist last year. And of course, the rookie but Olympian, Casey Boudier from New Berlin, Wisconsin.
Clear. Gator to your mark. That.
In this race, I like Lewis and Boudier. They skated a beautiful quarterfinal, very smart, very well strategically. Dan Berger is a bit of a long shot, but he's moving into a good spot. 3rd position is not bad.
Casey Boudier leads it down the hill. Dan Lewis sits in 2nd. They're spread out on this one.
It looks like Lewis and Boudier are going to work together. They're going to pull away from the back 2, Berger and Steketee. I don't think that those 2 are going to be able to battle and contend to go on to the final.
The question is, will Lewis try to challenge Boudier at the bottom? If they're smart, they won't. They both go to the final. Casey Boudier and Dane Lewis. Well, there's the lineup now for the final round, the medal competition. And keep an eye on the rookie, Casey Boudier. He has been strong, he's good, and he's smart. We're ready for the final round, the medal round at the Mission Valley Run in men's inline. There are the 4 finalists. And Dane Lewis from Sacramento, California, finished 11th last year. Patrick Naylor out of Colorado, a 2-time veteran of X Game competition. The rookie, Casey Boudier, shows his Olympic colors.
And Boudier, obviously a rookie here, but has the tremendous Olympic experience behind him, counting on that to take him to the front. He's looking for a very tactical race here.
Hi there. Hi, Mom and Dad.
And next to him, in the inside lane, Jeremy Anderson.
Anderson, a rookie from Kent, Washington.
Naylor to your mark. Back.
Lewis and Boudier have advanced on tactics. It's all about being in the right place in the right time, and that is being in front at the finish. It's a bit surprising to see that Casey Boudier has gone to the front here because he's going to have aerodynamics working against him if the three in the back can hook together.
Casey Boudier took a look back, checked out Jeremy Anderson, who leads the second group through.
Patrick Naylor in the last couple races, he's come from the back. He's got the speed suit and the aerodynamic wind tunnel tested.
Oh, look at Boudier as he decides to slow down, actually stands up and lets the rest of them pass. Naylor comes to the front.
Naylor looking very strong, hands stretched out in front. Beautiful race.
Fantastic run. Casey Boudier actually outfought it. Patrick Naylor takes the win, followed by Jeremy Anderson.
Unbelievable. Patrick Naylor, 39 years old. He is ecstatic. What a surprise.
Yeah, Pat! All right, yeah! You're the man!
Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah. Wow.
I think he's as surprised as everyone else. Well, age and experience have won out here for Patrick Naylor. He has beaten men who are barely half his age and taken the gold medal, followed by 22-year-old Jeremy Anderson and 21-year-old Dane Lewis. Here's Bill.
Well, Patrick, congratulations. A great win for you. A gold medal here at the X Games.
Oh, thank you very much.
Tell me about the rundown. Obviously, you had some strategy from the start.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to kind of be in back to catch the draft. I knew with my Spider downhill suit that if I could catch the draft and then pull out, that I'd be very aerodynamic, and that's what I did, and I pulled ahead at the end there.
Were you actually slowing down at points on the track to try and let those guys build up a little bit?
Oh, yeah, especially the top half. You know, definitely went slow to try. I wanted to be in back because I knew that, you know, I could I knew I was more aerodynamic with my suit and stuff, so I've been practicing my talk, and I guess it just paid off today.
A lot of upsets here in inline downhill for the men.
Yeah.
Are you a surprise winner?
Yeah, oh, yeah, I'm definitely a surprise winner. I'm the oldest guy here, so I'm a surprise winner for sure.
Well, enjoy that gold medal.
Okay, thank you, I will.
Congratulations. The oldest competitor in the men's inline downhill gets the gold.
It takes a special kind of band to skate down a hill at nearly 63 miles an hour. Today, Patrick Naylor has proven he is the best of this special breed.